You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Bring back that beat, DJ.
Welcome once again to the Fourcast. It's been a little while, man. It took a little hiatus. We had Christmas, New Year's.
It's been a long time. Back. I shouldn't have left you without a strong rhyme to step to. Thickest time in the deep flows you step through. Time's up. Okay. Sorry, I kept you thinking of this. Oh, hey, look here. On New Year's Eve, I did paid and we did karaoke and I did paid in full. Yeah. Look here. I think I was the second or third performer and they already said, oh, I ain't no use in going on here. This nigga done won this one. One of the only rap songs I know all the way from start to finish.
All the way from start to finish. Hey, you was flowing with it though. If I had the beat, I would have put the beat on so you can go and finish. But yeah, man, we're back. Wilkes will be here in a minute. We also may have another special guest coming on at some point in time tonight.
I don't know how special. Shit, that's not even, shit. We finna do this Cat Williams thing, and he done already said it's gonna be truth there. So let's go and keep this shit truthful.
But man, we doing kind of a different type of show tonight. Normally we review movies, documentaries, or films, but today we're doing a podcast episode that basically exploded a week ago. And Cat Williams on Club Shay Shannon Sharp, and he came on and he spoke truth. Since people say speak truth to power, he spoke truth in comedy. He did it his own way, the way he does, his thing best. And so we could tap into that tonight. We got a couple of videos that we'll play as well, but there is a lot to unpack here because this was not only an interview, but it was a comedy set. It was I'm just gonna hand you the mic and I'm gonna let you flow basically, and that's a lot of what Cat Williams did. But before we get into it, Doc, how you doing? How you been the past couple of weeks? How was your holiday?
It was good. This was one of those years where I was really just I was anxious to get it behind me.
Okay.
I've got my holidays and stuff set up to where they're not stressful in terms of like trying to buy gifts and all that other kind of stuff. I got that set, for all my family and friends, I'm basically giving out silver or gold bullion, to help them in terms of their investments, because your investment portfolio, 10% of it should be in actual physical silver or gold. And so to help them, have a mindset of savings and investing and meeting that piece of your portfolio, I try. That's what I give out. My kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, siblings. The only one who gets straight up cash is Mama. The Mama Queen, because shit, that's what she wants.
Give Mama what she wants.
Yeah, but everybody else, they get the silver basically. So, but it went well, man. New holiday. Spending the holidays, New Year, and whatnot. So fantastic. And for those of you who are watching, if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button for us. Subscribe if you are not a member of BS3 Network and or the Fourcast. Please subscribe to both of them. Shoot us a like or a love. Because we need that, just like, let's see who else has done it already. Carrie Boswell. Hey, Carrie, what's going on? That's a old chick from back in the 1900s that I graduated high
way
school
back.
with. So what's up,
back
Carrie? Good to see you, sweetheart. Thank you for the But a like, change that to a love though. Add a love to that, Kerry. We can't just have no likes when we go back as far as we go back.
All right. Let's go ahead and bring in the one and only Mayhem. What's going on, Mayhem?
Hey. How's it going?
Sound like you was scratching something, man.
No, he was stirring his drink up. I know what I sound like. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Well, I gotta make sure it's ready.
But good to see you. I mean, I already seen you earlier, but good to see you on the podcast. You know, it's been a couple weeks, so we just kind of recapping.
I was out for an extension. I was like, oh, well, I figured they don't need me tonight. I just go and sign the contract.
Hey, the ink still dry. Huh?
Yeah. They convinced me.
Yeah, but past couple weeks been good to you.
Yeah, been all right. Man, I don't know, I was busy Christmas with they had me cooking like madman over here.
Of course.
But other than that was good. And I think I had like 2 lemon cakes go out yesterday. But other than that, it was all right. I was busy.
Yeah, Bobby Crocker. Whipping it up.
Yeah.
All right, A-Trap, come to you, man. It's been 2 weeks. Good to see you back on the podcast. How was it?
Same fight, different round, man.
Hey.
Keep your feet moving. Keep your feet moving.
Yeah. Stick and move, man.
Yeah.
Stick and move.
Stick and move.
Yeah. Hit the one in the middle. Hit the one in the middle.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's
All right, so we
there.
got
Let's 3 them out there. I can't see. Hit the one in the middle, Rock.
In the middle, Rocky. You bum. Get out of there, Rock. He'll kill you.
We might need to review Rocky 1, man. Because you got Carl Weathers would be our brother in the movie,
Yeah.
We might need
his ring man though too, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Throw in a towel. Yeah.
Throw in the damn towel.
All right, so we're gonna bring on a guest tonight. He reached out and said, "Hey man, I want to come on the show with y'all." It was partly his idea. He was one of the parts of doing this tonight, and that's the one and only CJ Boyd in the building. What's going on, CJ?
CJ Money.
What's going on? What's good with y'all? What's going on? What's happening? What's going on, everybody?
How you doing?
A few adjustments here.
Yeah. Good to see you. Good to have you on. Make sure to
down in the
subscribe.
basement with Mayhem so we can hack the food down there.
Make sure to subscribe. Plays by CJ. And like I say all the time, this is not safe for work. You better have that volume down.
You ready?
The boss could be looking at you like, hey, what's that? But good to have you on the show tonight as we discuss.
Yeah, man, welcome.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. What's going on with everybody? What's going down, everybody? Y'all good? Y'all cool?
Yeah, I'm good. Hanging in there.
Good.
Putting this liquor in my system.
Same. You already know what I'm on. I see what I'm on right here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, word.
All right, so Shannon Sharp's been doing Club Shay Shay, what, about a year, maybe a year, or close to a year.
Yeah, because because I
think did he start it before or after he left?
Way before.
I think he cranked it up before. Yeah, he had it going, but
at least 2 years.
Okay. And he's had guests on the show, and he even talked about this. He's like, man, I've had guests. We've done some big numbers, but he was like, I was not expecting this episode to do this big of numbers. I haven't checked it recently, but I was at 30 million.
Yeah.
The entire episode, 30 million. I think that was like yesterday when I checked it. So this episode is not only blew up the spot for him, but also for Cat, for the culture, for comedy.
Oh, absolutely.
And so that's why we're tapping in onto it tonight. And so they kind of sit down on the interview, and immediately they just get right into it. I would love to see the behind the scenes, because it seemed like there was already tapping into things before he even got to the and the first thing that came up was kind of his upbringing, which I didn't know a lot. I knew he was born in Ohio, but I didn't know a lot of his background. So I felt like that was some good standing. let's give some initial thoughts like we always do, but also in any interview, the clips is what everybody is seeing, but the entire episode was not just one-liners. When you watch it, you'll see that it's they're gonna pull out the most exciting thing, right?
Yeah,
but there was some structure to it. There was some off the rails to it, but I think Shannon Sharp, I think he handled it well. If you got a guy like Cat Williams, you're not gonna just let me answer you the first question, second question, third question.
Let me just jump in real quick. I think that Ben, Doc, and everybody else and CJ, H-Rap, I mean, I feel like that's kind of like what BS3 has done. I think you create that platform where you just be yourself and you just talk about maybe something happened at the job, maybe something happened to one of your homegirls or something like what homeboy, whatever it is. And I think that's kind of like what Club Shay Shay is. I think that's kind of like a space that Shannon has created. I think it's one of those you just, hey, shoot from the hip. Tell me what's happening, what's going on, what information. And some of it's going to be knowledge bombs. Some of it's going to be BS for fillers. But other than that, I mean, it's just going to be a space where you just do you. And I think BS3 and other podcasts have done that. I don't think they try to mediate. I think they just let them, hey, talk about what you do.
Right.
And also I want to get H-Rap's take on this because Shannon Sharp, in my estimation, he's turned into a pretty good interviewer. If you watched him, what's your thoughts on that, H-Rap? You see it the same way?
Most definitely. I think it comes natural simply because he spent the vast majority of his life being interviewed. So you understand the questions that you want to answer. You understand how to read someone. I think he does a great job.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and I think what he's done with Club Shay Shay is just like so. It's unique, but also it's him, and he's not trying to change it to fit in any type of box. And I think that's what's great about it. And it's not just sports. So when he brings people on, it's not like, okay, this is a sports show. Let me ask you what you think about sports. No, it's just like, I'm gonna bring you on and we could talk about what we could talk about.
Right.
Yeah, and I think also he puts in, and I think Kat mentioned that to him and said that he brings the same work ethic to this podcast that he brought to the field when he played. And you don't get to that level that Shannon Sharp played at without some sort of work ethic. Of course, we all know that there are certain people that are just naturally gifted and they've made it a certain length or distance or level based on those pure talents. Some people would even say, what's the guy named the quarterback at Arizona? Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray. Some people may say that, and he ain't putting in the work. They got to put in his contract, but I don't know that I believe that. My point is that generally when you get to a certain level, you've got to be putting in some work. So I think it's clear that Shannon Sharp not only puts in work on the specific interviews that he does, because he talks about that research. I'm sure he has a research team. You can tell he spends time learning his his guests. I've heard a couple of guests say that. They say you can tell. And I think Cat Williams is intelligent enough and calculated enough that he didn't just go on Shannon Sharp haphazardly. He had to peep the same thing, Now it seems like Shannon Sharp is getting not only his demo, right? His demographic is wide as far as I'm concerned, because it seems like he has captured not only the people in our age group, but he's also captured the youth. And I'll let CJ speak on that. Before this interview, were you hip to Club Shay Shay? Is that something that young folks are onto as well? And I would have to think so, since one of his nicknames is Unc. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, for sure, most definitely. Shannon Sharp is one of the people that we look at as, how you have older gentlemen and ladies that's just like they're never gonna change with the times. That's not Shannon Sharp. You hear Shannon Sharp using some lingo, you're like, hey, what you know about that? So that's why that he appeals to the younger demographic. Saying like that's facts. And,
let him
using it correctly.
Let him cook.
Yeah, so saying things like that, but also he's old enough in age to be my dad, to be, you know what I'm saying? So, that's something that we really, resonate. And then just to add this a little bit more, what I liked about the interview, just a pointer, he said that, because I watched, so Club Shay Shay came out before Nightcap. That's the other one he has with Chad Ochocinco. And with
and Nightcap is fire, by the way, y'all.
Yeah, Nightcap is that's fire. And he also does it with the basketball Gilbert Arenas sometimes when he speaks to the basketball world. But I remember he was talking with Chad, and he was saying, yo, I'm not really an interviewist, I'm a conversationalist. I think that's what he said. He said,
which makes a great interviewer.
Right. So he says, that he makes it more comfortable. I'm not going to hit the hard-hitting questions. If you want something serious, go watch 60 Minutes or an interview with the actual televised news station. Up here in Club Station, we just don't keep it. So
Blue Streak. And I think for me, that's always been my motto. If I reach out to somebody and I say, hey, I want you to come on the show, they're like, oh, is it gonna be scripted? You gonna send me questions? I'm like, nah. I'm gonna ask you a question, and if that question leads into something different, then we gonna go into that direction. But I mean, obviously, he had cards in his hands, but he knew that at some point, like, man, let's throw these cards in.
It's like. It's always kind of like, this will get the ball rolling, but this can also create a rabbit hole. Exactly. I mean, I got to like kind of like with me, like, and I know Doc does great at grabbing notes and Ben does, but I mean, there was a point where I was taking notes on things that we watched, but I got to a point where I stopped taking notes because I needed, for me, I just needed to shoot from the hip. I just needed to, the things that I absorbed and things that I just needed to come. Yeah. It's not that it's not natural. I know some people got to find a bookmark, or maybe this is a good point that that's what's up. That stood out. But for me, it's just like, man, I'm just gonna let it roll because it's just how my mind works.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. In fact, this is one of the few that I did not take notes on. And even though it's 2 hours and 46 minutes long, I've watched it 2.5 times. Okay, and along with all the other clips and the responses and things of that nature. I did write down a few things because there were things that I did not want us to forget, like Melba Moore, and the fact that Cat Williams is a giver, and which is not something you're going to hear a lot about. But, Melba Moore, he was up for a Hollywood Walk of Fame. He was up for it. So when I visited LA last year and went to Hollywood on one of the tours, they tell you that to get a star on the Walk of Fame, it costs you $50,000.
Yeah, right. But to me is wild.
It costs you $50,000, right? That's right, and that's what Cat Williams was. He's like, I was up for the star, but he's like, I'm not going to take no star when you got people like Melba Moore, who should have a star, and she was nominated for it, and they offered it to her, but she couldn't afford the $50,000, which is why he paid the $50,000, which is why if you actually look that up, you will find an image with him actually, along with Lou Nail, another comedian. You'll find him there at her induction. And she said that he paid for it. Like, she just said that herself. This ain't conjecture. This ain't rumor. This ain't hyperbole. She doesn't say it. Cat Williams paid for my whole deal. And he said, because as a Black woman, she was there at a time to where, if you wasn't fine, if you didn't have the hair like you needed to, if you didn't have the right skin tone, if you didn't, and he goes, and she wore her hair all natural, she wouldn't have been considered fine. All she was a good singer. And there was a time where that wasn't enough. And so he just thought it was a travesty that she was left out, and he wanted to correct that wrong. H-Rap, what you think about that?
Most definitely, Melvin Moore, and there's a lot of other people. And you said it was the time. I still think we're in that time currently. Simply because you have to look a certain way. Like you remember that girl? I can't think of her name right now. She's a very heavy set woman, and they wouldn't. The Good Vibrations lady. I can't think of her name. And so like you guys were talking about the interview style. I use the exact same style. I'm not on Shay Shay's level at this point, but I do. And like Will said, I don't take notes. I use the handicap of mine to sharpen
disability.
Huh?
Disability.
Oh yeah, it is. Spelling is my disability. Spelling is my disability.
It's just a lot of people. It's a lot of people.
You joking, but it's mine. So
yeah.
The funny thing is, Wilkes mentioned he didn't take a lot of notes. I can't take a lot of notes simply because I'm such a poor speller. I will read it wrong and lose the purpose of my notes. So that disability, I've converted into almost a photographic memory. I memorized everything. And when I do the interviews, and that is something that you mentioned about Club Shay Shay, because I revert back to football and I mentally scan the field. This is what I saw on video. I'm listening as if the listening is a video. And I listen carefully, like I'm listening to you guys. CJ mentioned this, Wilkes mentioned that, you mentioned this, Ben mentioned this. And what I would do is I start my interviews like this. I start my interviews like this, and I say, hey, what's your oldest and most fond memory? Whatever your response is, that will lead me to my next question. It is a conversation. But you say, if you're a good conversationalist, you should be a good interviewer because you're listening to understand. And if you're listening to understand, you won't be listening to respond, and then you will be able to carry the conversation forward.
Right.
That's what's up.
Yeah. And I think what Cat Williams did, what Cat Williams did is being the interviewee. When somebody asks you a question, you answer the question, but you also give a comedic value to it. You also give a comeback to it.
Entertaining.
So then it becomes, it's not just a stale conversation. It's a full-on dialogue where you got Shannon Sharp laughing, and he can't he laughing harder than anybody.
And think about it. One of the things about the Fourcast is that we're going to look at things from a Black perspective. Why is that? Because we've been Black all our damn lives. So that's the only other perspective we can truly come from it at, right? And so one of the things that you see that our community does a lot, like, come on, Cat, you can't, you know, like some of his reactions were just authentic. If any of us would have been sitting there, we'd have been laughing the exact same. We would have reacted the exact same way he reacted. You know, even like when he talked about my net worth was reported as such and such and such, and he goes, "You can't listen to that because I had that on me."
Right, I got that on me.
That reaction by Shannon Sharp would have been all of our reaction. Like, "Oh, you cold blooded," you know.
Come on, man.
And he was like, "That was less than." He goes, "That my net worth was reported as less than my last Netflix special." You know. And hey, just a quick shout out to, of course, Big Illinois. He, I think we put that line up there, but when he says you have an unnatural allegiance to losers, it's not like you.
It's not like you.
And he says, and he says hilarious. And Maurice Nesbitt come right back and said that was the best line in the episode, Big Illinois, and that is 100% true. I agree. That was, and then hey, that's hard to say because there was a lot of great lines in there, a lot of fantastic lines in there. But yeah, that's definitely up there. Appreciate y'all. And then hey, a couple of quick shout outs to the likes and that's right. Deontay Hanslovic, of course, Blue Streak Freak, James Montgomery, Danielle Summage, Pizzo Tate, Corey Freeman, Terrence Darian Brennan, Chris Rachel Epps. What's going on, homeboy? That's fam right there. And here, let me see. It's a couple of more.
He said, "I'm going on Club Shay." A-Trap stole that idea from me.
Okay.
There's story to that.
Oh, Gino Sabata. What's going on, Gino? One of the coldest barbecue cookers in the world. Good dude, hardworking dude there as well. But yeah, we appreciate y'all on the loves and the likes, man. That helps us out. We appreciate that.
Yeah. And real quick before we move on, we got Chef Jeff in the building. Said hello, fellas.
What's up,
Check
Chef
out This Dope Cooking Show, which will be tomorrow at 5:30 on BS3.
Another one produced. Another Another podcast produced by yours truly, King Doc. King Doc is quickly becoming the baby face of BS3 Network. I'm producing a lot of these Negroes that you don't know about. I done put them on. Hell, CJ one of them. CJ one of my products. Hell. Hey, give me my love now. Give me my flowers now. Hell, I'll put you out, you know?
Come on, Doc.
This
all right. Now, yeah, what's up? What's
I
up,
got
OC?
that on me right now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
CJ, we shouted out his YouTube channel, but he's also on Elevate with Justin Caraway as well on BS3 Network. That would give him the time and things of that nature on that, CJ, so they can check y'all out there too.
Gotcha. So actually, I'm going to be doing another episode of Elevate. I'm gonna see if Justin can come on. That's going to be on 7 o'clock on Thursday. This is going to be one of the continuations of the stories I've been keeping up with one of my boys that made a wrong decision, and he ended up on the wrong side in prison out there in Huntsville. So he told me some more stories about how horrible the prisons are and how they treat you, and he's getting them stories out because he just don't want nobody to make that same mistake. So that's the Elevate side, and then I got my personal YouTube channel I do called Plays by CJ. Trying to get it up to 4K before the end of the football season, come up. And and also you're right. King Doc is one of the people that really put me on some real good advice that I'm gonna share with y'all on the backside of the episode. But if y'all want to check me out for some reactions and just laugh and just I say the most ridiculous stuff when I'm off this right here on and off, check your boy out.
Yeah, we talk. Yeah, me and CJ really talk. Now he'll tell you I get on his ass, but we talk. That's part of our relationship, right? Like that's little bro for real, and that's what you do with little bro, right? You talk shit, but you put him on real shit,
Oh, absolutely.
So it's like that. And when it comes to that prison deal, you might want to have A-Trap on that episode, because he's got an intimate knowledge with it. Especially since Big Illinois is homeboy, then hey, he can give you some real insight,
Ankle bracelet and all, man. Illinois got it for you, man. Got it for you.
Yeah.
All right, I wanted to hit this real quick before we get into the Cedric the Entertainer. But did y'all, Comic View, when he was on Comic View, I didn't know his name was Cat in the Hat. I thought his name was always Cat Williams. Yeah. Did y'all know Cat in the Hat was a thing first?
I didn't know that.
I'd heard that before. The new information that I didn't hear was that he changed it. Some people say he changed it because somebody put him on and say, no, you need to change it to this. But it's actually because he got a cease. He got a cease and desist from whoever owns the rights to the Disney. Cat in the Hat, the real Cat in the Hat. Yeah, so that's
Disney
right.
Sent it to him,
He said he got a cease and desist from Disney, even though it's spelled differently,
Right. It don't matter how it's spelled. If it's even closely tied to it, they shutting it down. No exception.
And of course, he complied and became Cat Williams, which is, as far as I'm concerned, Cat Williams in and of itself is a great name. Go with it.
I have no problem with Williams.
that could be your cousin.
Nah,
you never know. But what's up, Shaka? Thank you for tuning in. Golden, I don't know if we shouted you out already. She said, "Here, Golden to flowers, King Dog." She giving it to you.
Thank you, Golden. Living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden.
Now, man. So I'll say this, and I want to get all y'all opinion. I do not look at the Kings of Comedy the same anymore after this,
right on.
Because it was basically dismantled, and I think some people are like, "Oh, he being negative." There's a difference between being negative and telling the truth. And I think he was more so, and he said it. I need to set the record. I need to set the record straight. You've had these comedians on, and they lied, and I can't tell you why they lied. Whatever that motivation is. So CJ, I'm gonna go to you first. I know Kings of Comedy. That
Before
was
we go there,
96,
let me address something because
but-
A-Trap does a very good job of this, right? And that's protecting the community from that type of negativity, right? Like we're not trying to put people down, right? There's a fine line between putting somebody down, being truthful to set the record straight, et cetera, right? So, we're not trying to operate in that negativity space. We're really trying to give you our true, real views of it. We're trying to talk about the credibility aspect of it. We've even talked about Shannon Sharpe as an interviewer. So, hey, we just real folks. So we're not trying to put folks down. We're just trying to give our honest opinion. And sometimes that honest opinion is not a good one. So there we go. CJ, go ahead.
Gotcha. So I ain't gonna cap. So I've been following Cat Williams. If y'all know, I was on the very last time we talked about Cat Williams when he had that comedy special about like a year ago on Netflix or whatever. So I'm and I've been told you that Cat Williams is one of my favorite comedians. He truly makes me laugh. With that being said, with the Kings of Comedy, it was always some type of, I don't want to say beef, and just like what King Dog expressed. You can't take away, at the end of the day, you still can't take away that hard work that they put in to get to the, to the status, to the heights they did. So I don't give a damn what nobody say. That man, Steve Harvey, works his ass off. I'm seeing him boom, 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 everywhere. So just, with that.
So does my lawn guy. So does my lawn guy. I don't respect him no more than I respect my lawn guy. He called it gardener, but it's the same way. So does my pool guy. Right. His ass is there every Friday at 10 o'clock.
Right.
Giving the joker nothing. Go ahead.
What's up, Biggie Chief?
But it do kind of put some things, in perspective. But like even before this, I felt like some people already kind of knew it was a little funny business. Now I may have read it wrong, but people that really follow the comedian game, he was just reiterating. Am I saying that right?
Reiterating. I got you.
Reiterating. There we go.
You just missed a read, but you right there.
Are you good?
For sure. Basically, he just said what he said again, just on Shay's platform. I can't quite call it, but I remember he was speaking about this a long time ago when he was talking about when him and Steve Harvey was kind of having, like, I guess they was on the same comedic floor, and then Cat Williams went and destroyed them for like 10 minutes straight. I don't know where I heard that from, but I remember I watched that and he was on his ass like white on rice. But yeah, that definitely puts something in perspective on, on the rest of the guys. And Cat Williams just spoke his truth. Leave it like that.
Yeah. And that's a good segue to that video being that we have after we get A-Trap and Wilkes' thoughts on that question.
Yeah. All right, Wilkes, I'm gonna go to you first.
Yeah, man. To CJ's point, yes, Kings of Comedy has made its right in history. Yes, it's iconic. I mean, I can't. I mean, before my time, I can't. I mean, I'm sure there were other things like it. Possibly, I'm not sure. I can't really pinpoint it, but I mean, it's going to definitely be something that's always going to be something you just established. I mean, it was one of those things. But with Cat Williams and having this interview and just kind of chilling out on the couch, it does shine a different light now, and it just kind of makes you wonder, like, damn, he was talking about hanging with Mr. Cooper, and then he compared the Steve Harvey show, and I'm just like, well, damn. I was like, it kind of make you kind of wonder what's happening here, And then I saw a clip where I don't know what. Oh, it was the Designing Women. There was an episode.
Domination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like,
he kept of Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it just makes you stop and think. Like, I don't think he's trying to. I didn't sense that he's trying to discredit anybody. He just wants you to, hey man, this is real. You don't have to shoot the shit. Right. It's enough out here for everybody to get it. So
no, I do think he was trying to discredit them. I think that's exactly what he was trying to do is discredit, for the greater good, though. He wasn't trying to discredit.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Doc.
No, I don't think he was trying to discredit from a personal standpoint, right? Like he's not trying to burn you down personally, but from a business standpoint and a competitive standpoint, he's trying to say that ain't what it is. You know, fight me fair.
And I think I don't think he's trying to discredit him. Like, okay, yeah, they, you know, I'm not saying they don't put in the work or whatever, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna need y'all to just be upfront with some shit. Like, come on, man, stop.
Yeah,
you know,
don't lie and give credit where it's due.
Right.
So if you say, and this is a good comment here about Jeff. Dio said it happens all the time. The comics steal others' jokes.
Exactly.
There's another. I'm telling you, the clips that are on the internets is crazy. It is validating what Cat said.
Look at
Bernie Mac got a video out there saying you don't tell jokes.
Most important,
And we got that one too on deck.
Did you upload Dick Gregory's?
I got it. Yep.
Because Dick Gregory, and that's somebody. So let me just say this before we get H-Rap's thoughts.
Hey, Dick Gregory went in.
On that is that. Let me just explain something to our audience. Is that the Fourcast has been on this comedy shit too, in a way that a lot of podcasts hadn't been on. This Cat Williams thing, it didn't in our first foray into this game. Like I said, we've reviewed comedy specials. In addition to that, based on the BS3 network and Queen 3 and King, we have friends in the industry. We have had a comedian on our platform as a podcast as one part of Man Talk Monday, and John Lewis, who is a touring comedian. Mike James has his own dry bar special, and he is with Godfrey, which is one of the heavy hitters out there. He's with him all the time. You know, in fact, I went to Louisville, Kentucky to spend a weekend with Godfrey and Mike James. So again, we ain't new to this. H-Rap is that's one of his wheelhouses, just like rap is, just like politics is. Comedy is one of his deals. So on you.
Well, to answer your question, Ben, no, it doesn't, because these are things, as CJ mentioned. This is just now the world knows what people talk about behind closed doors. The funny thing is, the one dude that he didn't kick is one of the biggest joke stealers in the world. D.L. Hughley, if you, as Doc stated, hip hop and comedy are my wheelhouses. That's what I love. I mean, I used to love sport because I was a former athlete. But before I learned how to catch a ball, before I learned how, to hit a ball and run with a ball, I used to love comedy. My mom had all the Richard Pryor albums. And this is why I know, if you listen closely to D.L. Hughley, you said he sound like he stole all Richard Pryor jokes. But because Richard Pryor jokes came out 50 years ago, people don't understand that.
Right.
So it was just funny. But the thing is, I'm offended when someone steals someone's joke, just like a comedian, not because I think I'm a comedian, it's because I love hip hop. Comedic expression is just like hip hop. You can't walk up to me and say, "It's been a long time. I should have left you. I got sick." Comedian, it's this comedian that runs up to actual MCs and raps. He said, "Man, I got 16 bars."
I've seen that. I love it.
And he spits their rhyme, and they look like, "What the?"
That's mine.
Right.
That's mine. He said, he stops before they pop him. He go, "I said I had some dope rhymes. I ain't say they were mine."
Right.
So, when you steal someone's joke, as he stated, Mark Curry helped me craft this joke. Like, I'm the last dude on earth to stick up for Steve Harvey, because obviously he done jacked a bunch of people. But one thing I don't have a problem with is the Mr. Cooper thing. Television is regurgitation on steroid. So to come out with another show that's just like D.L. Hughley is mad at Damon Wayans because he had that show with him, and then he came back and did the same show.
Oh, yeah.
They beefing about that right now as we speak. So I don't have a problem with no TV show. The Cosby Show, Family Matters. It's the same.
It just updates with the age.
Exactly.
Now, I think the issue with hanging with Mr. Cooper and Steve Harvey is it was kind of in the same era. No, maybe not.
My wife in the D.L. Hughley Show.
Yeah. Now, I think Mark Curry just does not like Steve Harvey.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this:
there's definitely some beef.
The TV show was just one spoke in the cob. It wasn't. That was just one. That was just one way he was just using to discredit and expose. You know, it was not the bulk of it. You know,
I don't have a problem with that. But the rest of it, what's up, Cap? The rest of it, nah, you can't steal my joke. You cannot steal my
liquor
joke.
Poppy.
I like that. I like
that. You know what I'm saying?
He said,
I have a problem with, because you know what I'm saying, you can't do that. Like me and my cousin were talking earlier, and he was like, well, people in sports steal moves all the time, but moves are meant to be copied.
That's right.
Comedy and MCing is an expression of who you are.
Right. That's intellectual property at the end of the day. I mean, like, the intellectual property is protected. It's protected in law, technically, which is why Marvin Gaye ain't got to sell another album. Shit, they just sit back and sue motherfuckers who be selling stuff that sound like. It's a reason why they winning this money.
Hey. Yeah. You getting paid off of that one.
Wow. That's why I said music is the biggest.
For an injury, Frankie, or why?
Yeah, he has a labrum injury, and he is out for the season. He hadn't even been back
for. You can't have no baby. Thank you, Wilkes, man. Thank you, man. That's why every time stuff gets rearranged, I put myself back down at the basement, because I know where my material is going to be respected. He got a torn labrum, and he ain't even no female. I don't get this.
How does this work?
I guess he can't have no more kids. What that got to do with basketball?
Yeah.
So 9 games he played this year with the suspension and all that, man. Tore that practice.
Gosh.
Also, we do have the national championship game.
How's that going?
It's 20 to 13. Michigan is up. So anybody that's thinking of that in the background. We do have a great question. We got a great question from Biggie Chief, but let's play this video real quick. This is the one. We'll go to the one with Cat roasting Steve Harvey, and then we'll get to the Steve Harvey question.
Hang on, just set this up, because again, in the interview, Cat even talked about that he was the one who ran Steve Harvey out of comedy, and he said it was that they were on the stage at the same time. So come to find out, this particular show, Steve Harvey wasn't selling no tickets. So he brought Cat Williams on, and the rest is history. Go ahead, B.
Give it up for Steve Harvey. He's an excellent comedian. One of the finest we've ever had. But he don't want no parts of this in any way, shape, form, or fashion. This is some other shit. I don't know why he came out here with all this money y'all spent on them motherfucking tickets and talked about a lady in the audience for 15 goddamn minutes. That nigga should have talked about me the way I've been to talk about his bitch man. Nigga to fucking win my tour championship, my nigga. You did. You see that nigga had to take off that lace front high top fade before he came out here to battle me, goddamn. I plays no motherfucking game, Steve. I'm a little nigga, I fight dirty. You did, baby. What the fuck is he thinking about? He trying to copy off me and bring that ugly ass, sparkly ass tie out with a regular black suit like he was going to a funeral. Yours, nigga, yours. I don't think I give a fuck. I give less than a fuck. Whatever less than a fuck is. You the one came out here and told jokes about if a bitch lick you on the left nipple, you buy that bitch a car. If that ain't the trickiest shit I ever heard. Bitch, you can suck my dick with the Holy Spirit in your mouth. I ain't buying your goddamn car. I ain't even gonna give you a ride. It's a generation gap. Damn generation gap. He was the shit because he was the shit in 1968. looked at me and said, I don't like him. I said, I don't like him either. Let's fast forward it to when this disrespectful nigga did something called the original Kings of Comedy. Oh. As if Richard Pryor didn't live and walk this very same earth. You gonna be the original King of Comedy, nigga. Did it start with you, you disrespectful son of a bitch? Richard Pryor, not Bill Cosby, Steve Harvey is the original King of Comedy. You's a goddamn liar. How you original and you ain't the first one? Then a nigga told a lie that he didn't know nothing about this. And if you listen to his show, you know that nigga's a liar straight up and down. He waited until I said this was gonna be my last show after 18 years. He waited for that and saw that as a moment of weakness and decided he was gonna make it a championship. But then the nigga couldn't sell out the tickets necessary. Damn. Do you think that nigga wanted to be here with me this evening? No, he did not. He won't give a fuck. Now that I'm done with bitch niggas in my life. Some of you may have heard a rumor that for the BET Hip Hop Awards,
Yeah. What you talking
I
about?
lost the breakdancing competition to T-Pain. And this is how he ended up hosting. Let me explain to you a few crucial facts about me. One, I am not very tall. Two, I don't hang with niggas that suck dick or breakdance for a living. I don't give a fuck who they are. I got nothing against homosexuals. I just don't hang with them.
Get him, cat.
I didn't meet T-Pain until the day after the Hip Hop Awards. Look at me in the face so you understand what I'm saying. Because you gotta understand, it's gonna be 2009. It's another fucking year. Some shit is gonna remain the same. The bitch niggas that's in your life telling lies on you, the ones that make sure that anytime they see you happy, they do anything they can to extinguish your motherfucking happiness. Those motherfuckers will remain the same. What needs to change is what the fuck we do about it. Because they think they're getting away with it. Old slick ass, fake ass, bitch ass.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Smoking.
Brilliant.
Smoking.
Brilliant. Oh, hey.
Smoking.
Man, if that ain't a roast.
With the nigga in the building. That's what
I'm about to
saying.
say, where he
Oh, I
must have
said
been
he
in
in
the
the
back.
back.
That means, there's a lot of niggas that do some slick talking behind your back and but this that to me adds something to it. This nigga in the house, so I'm telling what the deal is,
Right.
So woo.
Wow.
That's why I said he in the back. He listening.
Right. Now let's get to this question.
Playing like he ain't.
Well,
Yeah, that he tried to set up, right?
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. He says, so I like Steve Harvey, but does that make you a brown nose in the industry? Meaning you step over whoever you need to get to the next level. And I'm telling you right now, there is multiple videos that have probably been out for a while, but because of this, there is a plethora of videos out there of different stories of him doing stuff to Bernie when Bernie had opportunities, and he would call in and say, hey, I think I can do a better job at this. Or it would be, let's go ahead and answer it.
I'm gonna say this, okay? Because I just want everybody to know that I don't have my opinion about Steve, which is not a fond one, based solely on what I've heard from other comedians or industry types or fans. Yeah. I'm saying it based on also my personal experience. Oh. I've had the good fortune or displeasure of being in some circles and some close proximity. Remember, Steve Harvey spent a lot of time in Dallas.
Oh yeah.
They studio was over at Valley View Mall, and I used to work but a stone's throw away. So I was there frequently.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not just basing my opinion on, just what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. And a man with an argument is never at the mercy of a man with an experience. And sometimes at the end of the day, homeboy, you can just tell who nice people is and who nice people ain't. See, King Dog talk a lot of shit, but you ain't finna find no malice in the shit I'm talking.
Yeah.
Sometimes at the end of the day, some people just ain't nice. Ain't nice people.
And that ain't the first. This isn't the first time I've heard something like this about Steve Harvey. Like this isn't the first time I've heard where, it's like he don't want to give no damn interviews to just anybody. He don't, and hell, he damn sure don't want you trying to get an autograph or get a picture with him, which I get with most people. But yeah, no, I've heard some stories. He's just not somebody that's approachable.
And at the end of the day, he's not the funniest. He's just not.
He ain't the funniest on here.
True.
But you know why Cat had the reason DC Don Curry tells the story of why Cat had such vitriol during this period. Cat's children approached Steve for an autograph that Wilkes just said he doesn't do. And he asked him, who the hell is Cat Williams? And he dismissed his children. And he told him, I catch up with him. See, that's the thing, man. Like a lot of people, and I understand people who are not in entertainment feeling like, hey man, that's their time too. But more of the great entertainers than the hacks. So I'm gonna call Steve Harvey a hack.
Right on.
Yeah.
More of the great entertainers. Now, don't get me wrong, man. I'm not saying walk up to me while I'm having a meal. I'm not walking up to me with me and my lady out. I'm not saying that. But if you are, as Dog said, I had a chance interaction with Bernie Mac. We were in a record store, y'all. For CJ, I know
you mean record store. Don't say the shit right.
I know you don't know
that. Record store.
And he just happened to be in there, and everybody who walked up to him, he joked with them. He was like, hey man, you Bernie Mac? He was like, no, I'm his brother. I'm Ernie. And he's joking with people. And I understand it comes to a point where you may feel I need my own space. But that's the price you pay for being a millionaire and being a comedian or an actor.
Yeah. Athlete.
Because we buy into this image that you present to us.
Right.
And Steve, you present Cat used it in a derogatory form, but you introduce yourself as this open country bumpkin that loves everybody. So when these people run up to you and ask you for some of your time, sorry, bro, you need to be upping it.
Right.
If you are recluse like a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you got the right to be like, hey, everybody know I'm a jerk. Get away from me. And then you go, you're a jerk. Okay, cool. But when you think like a man and the family and work hard, and you got to be shaking hands and kissing babies, homeboy, and he doesn't do that. So,
well, yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing, from our community, and part of the criticism is that you kissing hands and shaking babies, but it ain't our hands and it ain't our babies.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I think
say that shit for the clips.
Yeah.
You shaking babies and kissing hands, but it ain't our hands and it ain't our babies.
Hey, you better not shake no baby. You going to jail.
You understand?
Yeah.
So now we ain't. Hey, and I'm gonna tell you like Cat Williams said, and this is what he said. And when he talked about Kevin Hart, he said, those roles that was on my desk. I have, and he said, and I just asked, take some of this step and fetch it shit out.
Right.
That's all, and I'll take the role.
Yeah, and I'm not doing all that.
Or take some of this overtly homosexual stuff out. The character in the role is not homosexual. Why does he need to be doing homosexual shit?
Right.
And I believe him, and I believe Dave Chappelle when they say, I got nothing against LGBTQ, ESPN,
right,
TUBI. Got nothing against them. But at the same time, hell, why can I say I don't like Steve Harvey, who's a straight man, but if he would happen to be LGBTQ and I said the same thing, I got a problem with it. He basically just saying, hey, ain't got no problem with homosexual, but this character's not homosexual. Take this homosexual shit out and take this step and fetcher shit out, and I'm done. Same thing, Martin. You wore a dress in the last damn movie. Why do you need to wear a dress again?
Yeah.
Is that pertinent to the damn role and story? Can't you put a young detective in the role in the dress this time?
Yeah.
Which and he said Brandon T. Williams. I need to go get him.
Brandon T.
And
Jackson.
guess who was in
Brandon
it?
T.
Brandon
Jackson.
T.
Brandon
Jackson.
T. Jackson. And if you
Hey,
heard, and that's
slow down
another
with
clip we
Williams,
should have
Matt.
got. Because go look up Brandon T. Jackson and Brandon T. Jackson and say Cat Williams was 100% right. And I wish I'd have listened to it.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna be doing that.
Big Chief, I see you, baby. He said
All right, so Cedric the Entertainer, the joke that was on Cat says it's a clip out there of him on Comic View basically doing a joke that was Cedric's closing joke on King of Comedy, where basically he was in the spaceship and he was driving and the music and all that. Now I think yes, he did take it, but I think when Cedric delivered it, it's also a part of it is a in the moment type situation and how you deliver it and who's delivering it. So I think Cat, that was his original joke. But the way Cedric did it, and CJ too, but the way Cedric did that at that particular time to end that set, he killed it. But it was not his, and he never gave him credit.
Oh, Ben is coming from this perspective, and Ben, you can correct me if I'm wrong. And I think you might have said that in that chat, possibly. But that was somebody else in another chat I'm in. But they basically were saying, if you steal a joke and you make it better, then it's yours.
I'm not saying this. I'm not saying it's 100% his.
But that's people who say that, right? And they come So let's get CJ's comment on that. Is that if you steal a joke and you make it better, is it yours? And then I want to get H-Rap's take on it. Go ahead, CJ.
So I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kind of convert this into like raps, right? So I don't know if y'all know, but you know how they say when Lil Wayne do a remix on your song, it's no longer your song no more. Or when they or when Drake, get to singing the chorus or whatever, it ain't your song no more. So to answer your question, does your delivery make the joke funnier if you're not the originator? And if you do it better, I'm kind of leaning towards I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it true because dog, if I say a joke but nobody laughs, I probably said it corny as hell, and then you said it, niggas out here having a knee slapper, I'm gonna be like, man, what the fuck? I just said the same shit, but y'all ain't laugh. But because you said it and you have better comedic time than I do, maybe I need to go on the lab. So that's kind of my perspective on that.
And before H-Rap gives a take on it, and I respect your take on it, I really do. That's a different perspective, and that let me put it like this: I was at on a scale of 1 to 10 or 0 to 10, I was at a 10. That is bullshit. It is still that original person's joke. Now I'm only at about an 8.5 or a 9. Okay. However, this is the aspect that is important to me. This is comedians that are struggling, that are coming up, that are writing material, trying to get somewhere. If you steal it, that's like taking food out their mouth.
This comment right here.
Okay.
You made it a hot line. I think you said I made it a hot song. That was a Jay-Z line.
That's a Jay-Z line.
Got a great Negro poet, Jay-Z. And I'm gonna say it like this too for all you Jigga fans out there. Fuck Jay-Z. Go ahead.
I mean, I can respect what CJ is saying, but again, I can't speak for you, Ben, but I'm just telling you how I feel, why I feel you feel that way. I feel you feel that way because you have a more of a connection with Ced. Ced has been pressed upon us, and Ced has a better personality, and he's warm and welcoming. So you would lean towards Ced as he tells the joke. But if you were in that Comic View space, turning the BET every night at 8:30,
right? You
saw at one point, before Comic View came on, you saw that joke.
Yep.
And if they pan to the audience, you see them. They, as CJ said, they were slapping their knee when it was presented first. But we saw it on one of the biggest comedy tours in the history of the world, so it was put on said. The thing is, to use CJ's analogy, when you are me and Dark age, and I think Butler's our age too. He just came in. When you're our age, you love Lottie Dottie. But when you and Wilkes' age, you love Snoop Dogg's version of Lottie Dottie. But it will always be Slick Rick's song.
Right, exactly. And to H-Rap's point, you're not going to trust everybody to sing a Luther Vandross song.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. When you try to do remakes.
Matter of fact, let me just cut it to the chase. Fuck that. Because you ain't going to trust somebody else to come in here and sing Forever and for Always. It's going to always be Luther Vandross. Mm-hmm. And even before that, it may have been Dionne Warwick's, but it's going now it's Luther Vandross.
Before that.
Right.
Yeah.
So you get a third person that are trying to sing it. It's like, but it's still going to go back to the original.
It goes back to
It's going to go back to the original.
And I think,
for example, I give you another example. Gladys Knight remade a Curtis Mayfield song.
And then she heard it through the grapevine.
Yeah. What's the name? What's the bald head lady? Sinead O'Connor made that Prince song.
Yeah.
We know it as a Prince song.
Right.
No, you can't steal somebody's to use Dog's verbiage. You can't steal my intellectual property and claim it as your own. Yeah. Now, the problem I have with, and Said is one of my guys. I am a Said fan. Mm-hmm. My problem is, Said, when it was brought to you that you stole a joke, let's just say we get in our comedic spaces or we get in our creative spaces and we'll take something from somebody else and go, I did get that from CJ. Okay, I can say that. But when they say, yo, rap, where you get that from? You know what, dog? I did see CJ perform that. And I went to the crib and I wrote something around it. And before I knew it, I was doing this joke, man. My bad.
Right.
That's all he had to say. But
he didn't even try.
I'm hip hop till I die. I'm hip hop forever.
Right.
Yeah. And we despise biters. And that was a bite.
Yeah. And I think with Cedric, with Cedric, when you have the opportunity to correct or to say, yeah, I got that from him, but I put my spin on it. That's all he had to say. But to double down on it, when there's videos out there, to me, that is the stealing part. Because he, in my opinion, I think he did it better. But when you have the opportunity to make something right, you make it right and you give the person credit. That's all he had to do. But he just decided not to do that.
And that's why I get CJ and what CJ's saying. If I remix it and you jump on it and you smoke me, I'm smoked. It's yours.
And to that point, that's why you got J. Cole has not come out with an album this year, but the dude has done probably 20 features.
He bombed.
And if that song he did,
he killed Drake. He
murdered
Drake
Durk
on his joint.
I was like, that's not Lil Durk's song. It is on your album. But that is J. Cole's song, and whatever royalties you get, you need to slide that over his way, bro.
What's that song that everybody thinks is a Jay-Z song, but it's really a Ja Rule song, but Jay-Z bodied him?
Yeah.
And it was like, that used to be your song. It's on your album.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Not anymore.
Well, I and then too, like kind of just to add to that, you can see, and I do see it from both sides, because, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all don't get it twisted. I used to watch like comedians, but I used to watch the ones that was more known. And it wasn't until I started watching y'all, and I'll never forget when my son was born, about to be born, my baby girl, Charlotte, was pregnant, when y'all was talking about like Eddie Murphy and stuff, y'all started looking at some of the comedians. I said, man, let me try to maybe expand my horizon. So, y'all kind of put me on. And as I'm starting to realize, that man, Cat Williams, was that man Cat Williams was hurt. I'm sorry, maybe not hurt, but he was sincerely pissed off. He was, man, he was like, Shannon, if I stand before you today, I'll punch that fat nigga in his gut. Or he said something like that.
Right,
he said
punch
something
him right
like
in his
that.
pocket right here.
Right, punch him right in his pocket. But I can understand, imagine you trying to be on the come up, you doing your best material, just like H-Rap said that you going through it with, I believe it was Mark Curry, he helping you, and then you have somebody, which I can see that can irk you, that tells it, or it's perceived that they did it a little bit. You're like, nigga, what the fuck? So I'm out here, you know what I'm saying? So I can see how you be like, man, if I see that fat nigga, you know what I'm saying? He'll want to be
on site.
So
on site.
Sometimes it's not that they told it better. Sometimes it's not that they told it better. They just told it to more people in front of a bigger audience because they were more well known. You know, I only had an audience of 220 at the Improv or the Laugh Factory or at Crackers or at, you know, whatever, you know, but Crackers. You told, or at the Louis, Crackers is a real comedy club in Indianapolis. I go there all the time. I've seen Bill Bellamy put on one of his best shows. My level of respect for Bill Bellamy went off the roof seeing him live in Indianapolis. But anyway, so like I said, with the Fourcast, we do this comedy stuff. I mean, when I say I travel, I will go to a city and state that I've never been to just simply to go see a comedian that I fuck with. You know, just because it kills two birds with one stone. I get to support the comedian and I get to see a city and state that I've never seen before. But Cedric the Entertainer, he got a joke that will last in our community forever. So we respect him, right? This joke one where he talked about if black people see somebody running, they gonna run too. We just gonna figure out where the fuck we running for when we get there. We're not gonna stop. And he goes, and white. He said, white people, I ran because you ran. White people gonna say, what's happening? Boom, and get hit with He goes, we don't do that. We gonna run.
Now one thing
I done tested it out. I done just started running in front of a group of black folks, and guess what they did? They ran, motherfucker.
That was in high school all the time.
Recently on vacation, did you?
You see a crowd running towards you. You're not gonna stand and just look at the crowd. You about to turn around and run.
Right.
Not our community. I'm sorry, Jana Boswell, if you still listening, sweetheart. Oh, Carrie. I'm sorry, Carrie. Jana's her sister-in-law. I'm sorry, Carrie, if you listening. Our community gonna run. So if you wise, Carrie, run, hell, if you see us running. Don't be trying to figure out what the hell going on. We gonna figure that shit out later. Right now, get the safety, hell.
Right. And then talk about it.
Yeah. Now the one thing he did not lie about is Cedric's own specials have not lived up to his comedic ability, because a lot of the lines we have are either from Kings of Comedy or it's from a movie he been in, and it's not from one of his specials. So he definitely didn't lie about that, because he's had at least 3, and I think
talk about his variety show he had.
Right, to A-Trap's point, you watch it because it's
ain't no more going.
Yeah,
you watch it because it's Cedric the Entertainer, and then when you get like 20 minutes into it, you like, this ain't it.
Yeah,
this ain't, and then make it.
And then he even saying, he goes, they're not writers. He's not trying to. He's just basically saying that, you know, as a comedian, to be one of the greats, you need to be crafting your
write your own.
You're writing,
and you got to test it out.
I got news for you. Again, as somebody who's done amateur night at the Arlington Improv here, I literally text and email myself material all the time, just because if I ever get an opportunity, I got shit. It was funny at the time. I can't guarantee this shit gonna be funny on stage, but what I can say is the shit made me giggle hell. So I thought enough of it to send it to myself. It's mine, you know. But again, they're no writers, and that's what he's trying to say. That's what this is about. You got to be able to write material. Are there artists, musical artists, who have great careers, who have never written their own music? Sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Are there ghostwriters in hip hop? Sure.
Yeah.
But don't be out there perpetrating the fraud. It's all he's saying. He's not even saying you can't do it. He's just saying don't be out there trying to perpetrate a fraud.
Yeah.
And I
Now,
think that's the thing
ahead.
about. Oh, go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we could get to the Ricky Smiley part in a minute, but go ahead. You can go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think that's the thing about. I think that's the thing about Cat Williams, and to Doc's point, I think he's just trying to
like
say,
when A-Trap get tickled. I really do.
I noticed that. Yeah. I think Cat Williams is just saying, hey, man, just honor those that were put in your circle or those that were before you.
That's
like,
right.
that's all I'm saying, man.
That's
it's
right. Like when he talked about Richard Pryor now being the he goes, "You disrespectful motherfucker."
Right.
You know, and
Right.
that's what he's saying. Hey, that's what's up. He even mentioned Bill Cosby. He goes, "You the original? How can you be the original if you wasn't the first?"
Right. Yeah. And see, when I have to say, when I hear people cover it, like, oh gosh, my wife will tell you, my mom will, like, when I hear people like on music shows like The Voice or American Idol, it grinds me to my core because you're gonna say that's what's her name's song, but you ain't gonna give credit to the originator,
right?
Yeah. What?
You know what really grinds my gears?
A lot of them don't know it. A lot of them don't know it though.
But
they
damn,
really don't.
And they really don't. And they really
that's
don't.
That's a disservice, though. You need to know.
Me, man.
That's the point, man.
You know what really uses my eraser? That bullshit right there.
Oh, wow.
That bullshit right there. I'm like,
you know what really gets my goat.
That really tickles my fancy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right.
Now you on that other shit right there. Tickling fancies and shit. When I don't roll that way, man.
Oh, it just burns me up. So yeah, Cat, I definitely get it. And the words just coming out of that man's mouth was just, I just need y'all to just know that everybody's got a beginning.
Golden. Thank you, Golden. That's what I'm saying. Now I'm not saying what. I'm saying what the fuck is what I'm
Yeah.
Now this is why at the beginning I said you have to watch the entire thing, because when people see clips, they say, this nigga was hating. That's the first thing people gonna say. But throughout this entire thing, he said there will not be no DL slander. He basically murdered the whole Kings of Comedy besides Bernie and DL. He could have went after DL, but he definitely gave people the props. And there was plenty of people
that he ran out of time on DL ass. That might have been the
he immediately said there was no DL slander, and he moved on.
There will be no DL slander on this.
So I think people need to we need to stop taking the cliff notes and stuff and watch or read the entire thing.
Yeah, exactly. Right before this, my lady, we were chatting and she said, matter of fact, let me get the exact words. She says, I love that interview. I felt he spoke nothing but truth. Exactly. And then as me and Ben talked, and I told him that when you're a judge or a jury, which is what we're kind of playing here, right? Not just us, but y'all too, audience members. Your job is to determine credibility. Are they more than likely telling the truth or not? And for me, every time that came up when I was watching this interview, I always said that seemed very truthful to me. I didn't one time did he ever say something that I thought, that didn't sound accurate. It always sounded truthful.
I want to say this about this interview, which has nothing to do about what he was mentioning. But when I'm watching this, because the last special that we watched with Cat Williams, and I'm just listening to Doc, how he talked about, that's his boy, and he really enjoys Cat Williams. I was actually watching this entire thing from Doc's perspective.
Wow.
I was watching this from even to the point where he was talking about like giving, because Doc is an A1.
And I thought about Doc on that part.
Doc is an A1 giver. So when I hear Cat and I was watching this, but I was literally watching it as, man, what would Doc say about this? How would Doc look at this? Because
it messed me up, man, to hear him talk about giving. You know, whether it be the Melba Moore thing, or whether adopting 7 kids, or whether it be him sending the females that work with him to comedians who they killed it in this some small little comedy club that he know they broke, and he's sending them money to help them get by.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes this even more layered, because it's like at the end of the day, you watch how, like he said, he studied the greats, he watched the greats. He's a man of just appreciating what was behind him to move forward. Yeah. So when I watched this, I tried to watch it from Doc's eyes, and try to understand like what draws Doc to this person, which I know Cat Williams has blown up. I mean, he's obviously solidified. But yeah, when I saw that part, I was like, Doc, I was like, oh man, this is Doc's wheelhouse right here, every way, because the way he gives. So yeah, no,
if you remember, but just to show the kind of people we are, that's my dude. But his last special, we didn't give him. I told y'all he wasn't himself.
We didn't rate that high at all.
Thumbs off. He didn't got that killer instinct like he had before. So in May, Dark Matter, his next Netflix special, will be out. So I'm anxious to see that, and the Fourcast is going to be reviewing that. So as soon as you hear it drop, y'all need to be watching it, because we're going to be on it quick.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And as we're talking about the giving, Deion Cole, shout out to Deion Cole. He did a post on Facebook and he said, I see all of the hate towards my boy. What are some things that Cat has done for you guys, or something to that degree? I mean, he had probably at least 5 screenshots of random people just saying, hey man, he seen me at this club and he gave me $100, or hey, I was doing this and he gave me this. So the heart of a person is how they give to the less fortunate, or the people that they don't know. And there's so many stories that's out there that you can't think that this guy is ill-mannered, but he is going to make it fair. That's what he said. Like, I'm just telling the truth. You can't have these comedians coming on here saying all these lies and somebody not about to balance it out and tell you what really happened, or what the real story.
I just wanted to make it this far in Hollywood and still have my asshole intact. That's what I wanted to do, and that's what I have done. One of the things you can, if you did not know before you watched this, that if you did not know when you watched this is one of the most intelligent dudes you're gonna ever come across.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is another way you can determine and decipher that this is true. He talked about it in his early days. He would spend 8 hours at the library reading, researching, et cetera. And then that night I'd go to the marina and steal radios. I was making $2,000 a night. Anybody who's trying to be deceptive, they're not going to, come on, they're going to lie about it all. They're not going to, they're not going to throw themselves under the bus like that on some unflattering shit. Yeah. When he was asked about being homeless, he didn't deny that. He told the specific reasons as why it was that way. We stayed out of the trailer during, that movie because I knew that the $100,000 I was gonna make gonna go right to this tumor in my 2 front teeth. And like Ben pointed out, if you watch closely in the movie, his 2 front teeth was out.
Yeah. And that's that's not a flattering story. He has a kid, him and his kid are living in a trailer in the area or on the lot where the movie's being done.
On the lot.
That's not a story you excited to tell.
And he realized Coke wasn't for him because he wasn't sucking penis in the forest in the woods, like he said. No, man, this ain't for me.
Hey, and we laughing, but he said it exactly like that.
Yeah,
this ain't for me. I don't want this.
Yeah. But go ahead. You want to get to Ricky Smiley?
All right, so let's get to this. So Ricky Smiley to me is very similar to Steve Harvey. Not really that funny. But has gotten a lot of opportunities and is taking advantage of his opportunities. So the whole thing with Friday, which there is I'm not gonna play the whole clip because it's like 8 minutes, but basically you can find it. Ice Cube basically validates the story that Cat Williams would have been the better pimp than Ricky Smiley. Ricky Smiley became the Santa Claus. And Ricky Smiley was going around saying, I was supposed to be my role, that was mine. And Cat came on here and said, that ain't true because you didn't write the lines. It wasn't your role because you didn't show that that's a role you could play, and you didn't even cuss. So how you gonna play a pimp and you don't cuss? So there's a clip out there. Go find that with Ice Cube. But I wanted to kind of touch on this because the Friday was a I don't know, probably about 20 minutes or so of this whole thing that they kind of really dived into it. And so I want to get your thoughts on that. I'm gonna go to CJ.
Gotcha. So when first off, which I don't know if you're gonna have time to get to it, but if you don't, that's okay. We can tag it another time. But when Cat Williams said that Ricky Smiley and Tyler Perry, they're not funny unless they play a woman, and I really said back, right, okay, yeah, there you go. I said back, I said, damn, you know what? When he was playing Alex Stone, them acting chops wasn't with it. And when that nigga made a guest appearance on Star Trek, I said, brother, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and same with Ricky Smiley, and I ain't gonna lie, that old grandmama lady, what the girl name was? Bernice Jenkins.
Bernice something.
Hey, that shit was getting played out. Right. This, that, and the third, right? So with that being said, and I kind of bring it back, you know what I'm saying, to Friday, I think it's funny how
Bernice Jenkins.
Right.
And it's played. That is the most played joke probably of all time.
Played out.
Played out, yes. Yeah.
Played out. And the fact that on Friday, I can't imagine.
No, leave that comment up there. I'm finna get up there. Leave that up there.
Go
ahead, CJ.
No, you can read the comment.
No. Go ahead, CJ. We can go around. We can go around.
Oh, okay, bet. Nah, but I was gonna say I can't imagine nobody else playing that role. You know what I'm saying? But Cat Williams, and it's funny to me how I kind of took that as, he had that small little role, quote unquote, that little role, and that's why Ice Cube said it was supposed to be just a little, little gag, and Cat Williams owned that. That made him his persona. Yeah. That's why we personified Cat Williams with the pimp persona, aka he was a pimp named Slipback on Boondocks, and his comedy special when he came out with the green joint, that holy whatever that, you know what I'm saying?
Grail.
Yeah, with the Holy Grail. And the fact that it's funny how Cat Williams is going on this rampage and nobody is saying the nigga is lying. Nobody has said he's lying. Nobody has said he's like.
How dare you?
What? And you know what's crazy? Everybody is trying to quote unquote clarify shit. They like, well, here's what happened.
Right. What happened was.
Hey, hold on. You know what's crazy? Hey, this is kind of reminding me of like back in the day when you say, oh yeah, me and Sarda, we was in there getting it, but you really just kissed on the cheek, but you lying, telling your boys, in that shit.
Right.
And then she come back, bro, you said you were doing what? Nah, we ain't do that. You was out here begging for it. You wasn't cool. Hell, this, that, and the third. So I just found it funny how he's going on his rampage, especially Ricky Smiley, and that's a shame if he and this last thing I'm gonna say, but now I'm gonna pass to somebody else. When he said, "Oh, I would never lie on my son," and this, that, and third, but he is lying on his deceased son, and Shannon Sharp was like, "Nah, he would never lie about that." This, that, and the third, and then Cat Williams was saying something on the lines of, "Well, why the liars lie? I don't know. Shit, that's something he gotta, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I feel about, him and Ricky Smiley.
Yeah, that's not a defense. Why would he lie about that? That's not a defense.
Right.
Why do liars lie? He did have a comment on that. Yeah, I don't know.
Clout.
I can't.
We know why liars lie for clout.
Yeah. What tickets?
Yeah. I'm lying because I want people to like me. Just come on now. I'm trying to hit a lick.
Let me just kind of expand on what H-Rap said. Why do lies lie? Clout, ass, and gas.
True. I was gonna say panties, but whatever.
all encompassing, whatever panties hold.
The draws, dog. Yeah.
Well, never mind.
All right,
I'll leave it there because Dog said I go to the line and then I destroy it. So
That's right. I'm proud of you, brother. I'm proud of you. This is the first line that you respected. I appreciate it.
I'll
It only took 3 years.
I'll leave it there.
It took 3 years. Hey, on one of the wildest shows we done had.
Right.
This is when this nigga decides I'm gonna stay on this side of the line.
I'm stay on this side of the line.
I ain't a line crossing the day.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, A-Trump.
No, I mean, Ricky Smiley, I've been to funerals funnier than him, so it really don't really bother me about Ricky Smiley. But I do got a story for you, though. The homie called me Friday.
Want to hear it? Here it go.
He was like, yo, you check out this interview? I was like, yeah. He said, I ain't seen it yet. But see, I don't like Cat Williams. I was like, well, I can dig that. What? He was like, but you know what? Ricky Smiley, my guy. I was like, I'm thinking to myself, good for you. And then he go, the next thing out of his mouth is this. He's like, but you know what, Joe? I went to see Ricky Smiley back in 2016. And I went to see him last year. He was telling the same jokes. He hadn't even seen the interview yet.
Wow.
Mic drop.
Wow.
There you go, right there.
Yeah.
There you go, right there.
Wow.
All right, you got something, Wilkes, you want to add to that?
No, well, kind of what was what CJ was saying earlier, but not a lot. It was just that when I was watching Ricky Smiley's response, I think it was like 26 minutes or 20 minutes or something. But it's and also back to CJ. Nobody's saying he's lying. Everybody's just trying to damage control.
Right. Exactly.
Everybody's just trying to.
They PR telling them what to say.
Well, this is how I kind of remember it. No,
and they saying it very humbly, ain't
right?
They?
Yeah,
very soft spoken.
Hey, Trap, this is what the old heads used to say. They had their hat in their hands, didn't they?
Yeah.
Talking about it.
When Cedric the Entertainer was talking, he was like, "Look,
yeah,
man, I don't even know what he talking about."
Everybody
man.
was a politician after this.
Yeah, right.
Everybody was a politician after this interview.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's not exactly how I remember it, but so yeah, nobody's saying he's lying. Everybody's just trying to iron out the kinks he threw out there. And I'm like, this is what it is. Right. As the Black Eagle said, I'm putting it where the goats can get it.
He's gonna pray up for the Black Eagle, man. His cancer came back.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Yeah,
that's a good line right there, though.
And now it's kind of like Cat Williams dropped the mic. Y'all fight over it. I'm done.
Right.
Yeah.
Y'all go scramble for it.
Before I get to this educator queen, and I do her like Cat did Steve Harvey, I want to give a shout out to her though, because she gave us a little love on the loves and likes. So Mika Baldwin, Sonny Cole, Lena Traylor, we appreciate y'all. James Montgomery, I don't know if I said Tyrone Simmons, Clint Killian, we appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. So now the educator queen, Queen 3 and King on Tuesday nights. We'll be back after our winter break on January the 16th with some good shit. She says, now I believe 98% of the interview, but he wasn't reading 3,000 books. LOL. Now you got to understand, Cat Williams at 12 was already what I don't know. He hadn't graduated high school, but he had some sort of
He got accepted to this honors.
That's right, society or something of that nature, like that, right? His IQ tested at 163. So this cat, again, no pun intended, but cat.
I see what you did there.
Hey, don't automatically dismiss. You spending 8 hours a day at the library before you go steal radios at the marina. Hey, don't discount that now.
You got people that are speed readers. I don't know if he's a speed reader, but you got speed readers. I mean, they'll retain, not saying
and there's the 10,000 hour rule, right? Once you done did something so much, you get better and better at it, don't you?
Yeah.
So when you read a lot of books, my reading level, and just like Gen Z and Gen A is one of the things he said in there is that we don't give them books, we give them iPads, and now all of a sudden they would say it as generations wasn't going to be able to read, and now Gen Z and Gen A, the majority of kids, and I'm sure H-Rap can probably clean this up for me, but the majority of kids in those generations are not reading at their reading level. I want to say the numbers like 83% of them or so are not reading on their grade level.
That's exactly
and
what
generation ain't okay. Hello, that's a problem.
Right.
Okay, because we all know, educators that are in the room alike all know the importance of being able to read when it comes to learning anything.
Right.
No matter what it is. If you can't read,
right,
we got a problem. And the earthquake, he took a stray.
Wow. Wow. What earthquake do, man?
Earthquake
just caught one, man.
But he said, hey, earthquake, but he gave kudos to earthquake. He's good, but he said that's the reason why he couldn't get roles is because when they put a script in front of him,
Corey Holcomb.
Hang on. I'm reading the script, man. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You said something about Corey Holcomb.
Corey Holcomb, he didn't say Earthquake couldn't read, but he said a lot of your favorite comics ain't in movies because they can't read.
Yeah.
And I think the funniest response is a video.
You want to hear somebody go scorched earth that just tell the truth? Check Corey Holcomb shit out. In fact, he's coming to Dallas. I think it's January 27th. I think I'm gonna be in the house.
So I don't know if he read 3,000 books, but his story sounds a lot like
August. He read 2,999 of them.
No, I'm saying his story sounds a lot like August Wilson. August Wilson dropped out of ninth grade and just went to the library every day, like Cass said. And he used to do who wrote Mom Mabley's Black Bottom, and he's the person who wrote Fences and several other black plays that are in. So it's not beyond belief. It is a gigantic number. It is a gigantic number.
Yeah.
And he didn't say how long the books were.
Yeah,
he didn't say what type of books they were. I mean, so
yeah.
And the first reader.
And you want to know where Cat is at?
Run.
If you want to know where Cat Williams is at, he is all about educators. He talked about how much teachers get. He goes, we're in a society who says we believe the children are our future. We try to put all this importance on kids, but yet teachers get paid scraps.
That's what I'm saying.
That already shows you what we're about in this society.
It's still
bullshit. If you want me to sit there and try to give you some song and dance, sunshine bullshit about that, you've come to the wrong place. That's where he at. He calling out the bullshit, no matter who on the bullshit.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I got my youngest son, Chico. If it's some bullshit, he gonna call it out. His dad included. And guess what? I encourage it. I tell him come with it.
Right.
Because he owns some shit. He goes, his job is the highest truth. His job is the highest truth. Period. And it don't matter who it is.
Because truth telling, unfortunately, has been a lost art.
Lost. Because they scared of it.
Right.
Not only the people who need to be telling it,
right,
but the people who it's getting told on.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
we got
capitalistic society. Capitalism needs people to be stupid.
Oh.
You know, the greatest thing in capitalism is to make you think you're thinking. I use that example all the time. They make you believe you picked the president. They make you believe that you picked certain things, and they bring it to you just like you. We get it done to us all the time. How many times have people walked up to you and say, "Hey, man, what you want to lunch? I'm gonna buy lunch today. What you want? McDonald's or Burger King?" And you go, "Burger King." You didn't pick. You picked.
Yeah, exactly. I gave you
the choice.
But you believe you chose.
Right.
Snickers or Mars. You can have all the candy you want. And you go, give me the Snickers. I don't mess with that. Man, I picked that. No, you didn't.
No, it's crazy.
I picked and told you to pick what I picked.
Right.
And before we get to final thoughts and mic ratings and stuff like that, I do want to give Sheer Alternatives a shout out. Ben brought me over a kit yesterday, and I tried it this morning. My teeth already sparkling. Look at here. Hey, when I say, hey, it remind me of Big Mama. And my mama when we used to brush our teeth, man. This is all natural toothpaste, all natural mouthwash. You know, see, you can get away with just putting your mouthwash in your mouth without shaking the bottle up because ain't nothing in there real. Hell, I got to shake this one up to get all the ingredients back mixed together and stuff like that. But when I say my mouth said, "What the fuck is going on?" This some real shit this morning. I'm giving him a shout out. You may not have been counting on that kind of shout out, but you getting sheer alternatives. Go to sheeralternatives.com for some real shit instead of that other shit.
Want the real.
I got the
every morning.
And
the way some of you falling behind,
market.
let me know, I ain't through yet. And the way some of you falling behind these roses and stuff like that on your girl, you better get you some of this Sheer Alternatives to clean some of that stuff out. Because the way that's been sitting up in that drawer, getting all
yeah, because she don't want your jacked up mouth on her lips.
See, he couldn't avoid that lie. It was a temporary thing. It wasn't real. Okay.
Really? Oh, wow.
You big dummy.
I don't see what the problem was.
All right, let's get final thoughts.
You don't want your dragon breath on a meat curtains.
Okay, man, we get it.
No.
He said, "Bring it to me, man. His teeth look the same. He don't brush."
Wow.
My name is Yuck Mouth because I don't brush. Hey, is that a cavity? I know A-Trap remember that commercial.
All right. Let's get to final thoughts. I didn't even think about a migrating, to be honest.
Not really. I didn't. Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, fine. Either way, I mean, we can rate it or not.
All right.
I think it's
so we could go to. We could go to.
Y'all ain't gonna rate it 5, nigga.
Hey, I'm not gonna call him a guest because he always in the chat, always supporting. But CJ,
come back.
Final thoughts.
All right, final thoughts, man.
It's terrible.
No side in the building.
Thank you, Big Chief. We'll take that as a compliment.
Anytime Cat Williams, I feel like everybody, listens. Anytime he got something to say, you know what I'm saying? And this was just one of them things. I felt like Cat Williams came in with something on his mind, and he definitely said that. And when he said that eloquently. He said that he destroyed a lot of people, but he destroyed them like, man, when I tell you Cat Williams has always been this unfiltered, he's always been like this. Right. And that's something I always appreciated about Cat. But my final thoughts, this was, man, Shay, and by the way, and we're not giving enough credit to, Shannon Sharp, for him to do all of this, you know what I'm saying? For him to have that platform and to have everybody from a Chris Brown to a DC Young Fly to a Cat Williams, his brother, he's literally tapping in with any industry. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all seen Nightcap. Yep. He said eventually he want to get Barack Obama and LeBron James, and I believe he definitely can't. Probably not LeBron James right now because he's still playing, and but definitely, I can see that in his future. And then I appreciate
think he can get him now in the off season. I think it can get him.
Yeah, most definitely. But LeBron, I don't know. I feel like every time he plays, he's been kind of little passive with his interviews, as far as besides game time interviews. But I appreciate y'all always having me on here. And my guy Wilkes, bro, we gotta chop it up because I text everybody. I text BS3. I get with H-Rap and I get with King Doc if I need some advice about life and everything. So yes, we gotta rap, man. And you know how to cook and like sear a steak and shit like that. Okay, word. Okay, word.
I got you.
Hey, Amika showing you some love, man. So look at CJ. Keep using them SAT words, man.
Nice.
Shit, I appreciate you, man. Lancaster Finance here.
Go ahead.
All right, A-Trap, final thoughts.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed the interview. It was great work on both ends. As we stated at the beginning, it was just a couple of dudes at the cookout talking. So and what we'll see, we're supposed to the thing we were supposed to do. You'll see the continuation of it. It's not an interview, but what we're doing next week, you'll see it. Great comedians and storytellers. Cat Williams put his comedic hat on, told stories, led you to it. And, you know, like Mika thinks he may be engaged in that hyperbole. A few of us did. People didn't think he could run a 4.4 in the 40, and he put that on the internet today. That he ran a 4.47 today on in the 40 on TV. I mean on YouTube. So basically, you don't challenge a true comedian to a storytelling fight. And the dudes he pulled out, they are not true comedians. And as CJ mentioned, the other true comedians who, you know, when you look, if you get a chance, look up the dictionary definition of comedy. It is the sudden revelation of something that we already knew. That's what Webster's defines comedy as. Yeah. And he did it. We knew these stories. We had heard these rumors, and he put his Cat Williams spin on it and presented it to us on the platter. Don't mess with a real comedian.
Yeah.
5 mics.
Yeah. Don't mess with a great, because when they got stories to back it up,
right.
It shuts everything down, and it's just stuttering on the other end. Well, you know what happened,
right?
So I mean, there you go, Doc.
5 mics. Obviously, you know what I thought it was. I mean, that's why I came in and said we need to talk about this week. We had something else planned, but when this was going nuts, you know, it's like, no, we got to give our take on it. We're too in deep with this comedy thing not to have our take on it, you know. So, but like CJ said, let's make sure we give Shannon Sharpe some love. Shannon is, I mean, he's developing into, you know, a great interview. I think Kat said something, called him something Walters, if I'm not mistaken, making fun of George Walters. I think he called him George Walters. You know,
they call him Cognac Walters.
Yeah, when that comes to interviewers, Barbara Walters, whether you thought she was good or not, the bottom line is that she's widely regarded as that. Okay,
she slept with Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor slept with a bunch of different men and women in the
I just had to throw that out
in
there.
this day and time.
Right.
Okay,
I had to throw that out there for man Rich.
And that still might go. JoJo dancing all. I don't care.
Appreciate you for tuning in.
I just want to kick a little dirt on the grave.
Oh, shout out to Eric Butler too. Perspective and Is It Wednesday? Yeah, we appreciate your support, man.
Yeah,
I sent the homie check out Eric's joint.
Amina, appreciate you.
Yeah, and I think what this did is it did earn a lot of people's respect, because they didn't know, they've seen him do comedy, but you got the full span of who he is in this interview. And so, yeah. All right. Whoops.
Yeah, I think it was great to see it. I mean, I was already pretty. You mentioned it to me, Ben. I had seen some thumbnails, but I hadn't watched it. But I mean, and to CJ's point earlier, with him personifying, you know, that role in Friday, it was just like I couldn't imagine Cat Williams in anything else really, because he owned that role. Like in Next Friday, he owned that. That was just one of his things. I mean, it's still iconic, you know. And then, like, to me, I didn't know who Ricky Smiley was until he played the Santa Claus, and that's just probably me late knowledge. But it's just one of those things where, you know, I think this segment was great because he come out. I'm gonna give you the truth. What punches do I have to pull? They can come find me. They know where I'm at. Yeah. You know, it's one of those things where I'm gonna lay it out here. You know, some people thought it was BS. I'm thinking, how do you know it's BS? You're not in that man's head. You're not in tour with that man. You don't know.
Cat said, I'm a lot bigger when you see me in person, and I got a lot less play in me that you want me to have.
Come on, man. Man, what's what I'm saying? Come try me. Because like he said, people bring me knowledge. People bring me information. I don't ask for it.
That's right.
They run it to me.
Matter of fact, and he says he put it out there when he wants it. He puts it out there. I need some information.
Right.
So he wasn't even trying to. Yeah, he know a lot more than he done told. Too.
Thank you. Exactly. So no, I have to give it a 5. I mean, he gonna call some people on their bullshit. If you ain't stepping right, let me get you back in line a little bit.
Right. Right.
This is how I remember it. This is how I remember it went down. You got a little amnesia, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Like
you don't forget how
I'm speaking with. I'm speaking with such clarity. It's for a reason because I was involved in all these stories. I'm telling.
I can't make this up.
Right.
I'm saying. So
in the words of Earthquake, these ain't jokes.
Yeah.
Even though they was funny.
These ain't jokes.
Even though he was funny.
Ain't jokes. Yeah. I have to give it a 5. I enjoyed it. I probably didn't watch it as many times as most people. I did watch it a second time, but some people watched it 3-4 times. They every time they saw something different, or they didn't catch it. So I enjoyed it. I gave it a 5. And to, like you said, Shannon Sharp, I mean, he's doing an amazing job. Just kind of throwing out the questions, and genuine questions, and they run with it. And they have a space to talk about what's on their mind and on their chest. And I think he lets that roll. And I think that worked. That's always good when you can create a safe space. It's just like, hey, man, do what you do. Talk about what you know.
Right.
Yeah, he's talking about Big Chief right there is talking about Cat Williams paying for the information. And he
absolutely.
Hey, Big Chief is a woman.
What?
Oh. I've been thinking all night that was a guy.
I didn't say it, man.
My apologies, Big.
God damn.
Me and Big Illinois grew up together. We moved right next door to each other. She lived in the middle.
God dang it.
She misspelled a chief if she a woman, man. Shit.
Hey, appreciate you for stopping by. She said, "Great."
I ain't saying nothing. I just like, okay.
I've been saying he all night.
All night.
Hey, man, you gotta put that in the private chat.
I've been laughing all night because y'all kept saying,
no shit.
That's why I
should have corrected it like 10 Big Chiefs ago. And Biggie Chief, you should have said something too. Hell.
Glad I didn't say nothing.
Maybe that's why you got two G's in big. Hell, I don't know.
I apologize.
So I wanted to go to the numbers where they are right now for the interview. 36 million, and this dropped 5 days ago. Wow. 36 million. I'm assuming this has got to be as high as. Let me see. Maybe as high as one. Yeah, it's as high as one today.
Yeah, it is by far.
It's as high as by about 21 million.
And guess what's number? Guess what's number 2?
The one with Steve Harvey, right?
Steve Harvey at 10 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Trust me, this is gonna come up in random conversations at a hangout, wherever you at.
Oh yeah.
This interview is not going away anytime soon.
No. And I think I agree with what you said, CJ. Cat Williams came into this with a strategy. This wasn't just like, I'm just gonna say stuff, because he didn't have to ask him the first question. He already said, I'm gonna punch Cedric in the gut. I mean, he just came out with it. So when you welcome to a platform like this, you got to come in with a game plan. And he came in and he did a whole set. He did a 2 hour and 45-minute set on the truth.
Even the cognac is sold out. At least I got a bottle coming, but
yeah,
even the cognac is sold out.
He said that on that thing with him and Ocho, he said he had to stop Cat because he went on a 30-minute rant before they hit record.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
Hey, like Dog always say, man, we need to save this, man. Don't be saying this while we just talking in the background, singing in the background.
Don't give away what we can say.
Right. And I think to show who he was, and that's the last thing I'll say. When they went to the Kanye comment question, and he was like, "What you think about Kanye, man? You know how stuff this stuff is." He was like, "Why would we? If somebody got a mental illness, and this shows how horrible we are." Right. And he said, if you see somebody with a mental illness, why would you grade them on the same as somebody that doesn't? And I felt like that was.
Yeah.
I didn't know how he was going to answer that question, but when he answered it showed that. Right. Showed that he cares.
He married.
It's not just about jokes. What did you say?
You heard it. You heard it. You heard the words come out of that man's mouth.
He married a whore.
Oh yeah, right.
and Shannon said, "Say, man,
sack whore."
Wasn't lying.
R.I.P. Norm McDonald. R.I.P. baby.
Wasn't lying. I knew it was for real when Shannon just stared and simply said, "Wow, yeah."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Man, you drinking too much." He was like, "I ain't drunk.
I ain't touched a sip."
Yeah, you the one you drunk more than I have."
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't need this alcohol to tell this truth. What?
Right.
You can add up all the views before this, and it still wouldn't be 36 million.
Right.
Thank you. Right. I need a
he was ready. He was prepared. He didn't just show up and say, "Hey, I'm ready to do this interview."
Oh, he's been ready a long time.
What's the name of the cognac again?
Forte. His grandmother's
Portier.
La Portier. Yeah.
I'm waiting on my bottle. I'm waiting. I was gonna try to present it tonight with the show, but it was last minute.
It's a cognac. He put it together with one of our famous actors of our community, Sydney. So Sydney and Shay Shay put it together. It's La Sydney Portier. See, what I was trying to see is who's gonna break first. And I see A-Trap just proved he's smarter than all y'all because he got it. When he got it, he tried to hold this shit in.
Well, I'm thinking because his grandmother, it was a nod to his grandmother, because he's talking about.
You know why I got it though?
Sydney.
Wino.
I'm like, who the fuck is Sydney?
Wino.
Portier, man.
I was like, what? This nigga on. What are you talking about?
It's Sydney Portier.
All right, I'm through.
All right, y'all. So next week we're gonna do. We pushed it back 1 week. Dave Chappelle, The Dreamer. He dropped it on December 31st. So we've done, I think, a couple of his already. So
shout out to the handicapped people. Do. We love you.
We love all y'all. All right. What's coming up on End of the Bench tomorrow?
End of the bench. I am reconfiguring the end of the bench. It'll be the same kind of formula, but I am going to talk about what freedom is. You know, and I'm gonna talk about respect people's personal choices. You know, time to remove ourselves from this microwave mentality, because I personally feel we live in a microwave society at this point, and we need to step away from that because we don't respect other people's time due to this. And what I mean by that is we think everything should be instantaneous. You know, Joe Biden didn't do this for us. Not identifying the process. And I think it was created by the microwave as well as and fully perpetuated by things like Amazon. At one point, you used to order things like Wilkes. Wilkes is a perfect example of it. We used to order something and we knew it was going to take 2 weeks to get to our house. Amazon allows it to get there in a couple hours. So now we go to the DMV and be like, oh, why are we here all the time?
Right.
Being here all the time is the deal, you know. And I'm going to kind of kick Shannon in the head tomorrow because I love it. I love the program. I love, you know, Shannon Sharp. I ain't calling the dude uncle. The dude only 2 years older than me. He ain't gonna be my uncle because I'm not a hillbilly. But I'm kind of disappointed in Shannon. And this, you know, people got mad at me when I mentioned it person to person. I'm gonna bring a personal conversation to the air. And part of that personal conversation is I don't like that Shannon Sharp has partnered with Colin Cowherd. Shannon Sharp has 35 million views, which probably translates into about $8 million. And we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Wow, love it.
Wow. All right.
And no Bible study tomorrow, so I'll be in y'all on tomorrow, King, Green Queen.
No, sir, we're not. We're still on winter break for another week, so we'll go ahead and segue into this. So nothing on Queen 3 and King, but this week, if you are in the Dallas area, DFW area, Perpetual Praise Community Church has their 10th annual men's conference, and for the 10th time, I am the only speaker that has been there every single time. I will be the opener tomorrow. And you know, we got church, so I'm gonna be a little different. You know, I'm gonna be a little cleaner than the King Doc normally is, but I'm gonna still be raw. So
Yeah.
If you're in the DFW area, come on by. They always have free food, free drinks. You know, there'll be some gift giveaways. I'll be giving away some gifts myself.
What kind of drinks?
Orange juice, apple juice, water, Coca-Cola. That's what kind. Now most of the brothers, I mean, they have chicken and waffles during intermission. That's off the chain as well. So this ain't this we at church, okay, and we gonna do it. So this one happens to be ironically the gift of giving, right, which has been a subject of conversation tonight with Kat Williams and myself. So the gift of giving, and I can't wait for this one because this is what I do, you know. So if you're in the area, you don't want to miss it, brothers. You know, your sons, your nephews, your cousins, you got young males in your family, come on by. I put the link in the description, Eventbrite link, so you can check that as well. But if you're in the area, come on out. I promise you won't be disappointed.
I'm sorry, chicken and waffles though. And chicken and waffles. You said chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles. Yeah, that's gonna be on the intermission menu. Huh?
And how close to Love Field is that?
Wait a minute. oh no, it's relative. To be perfectly honest with you, probably about 15 minutes.
I do have to ask a question. What time does it start? Because that time was throwing me off. I saw 130, 110. What?
It was like a. I'm wrong. Okay, hold on. Let's put it back up because I think it's at 10 o'clock, 10:30, one of the two. But I could.
I think it's
I do say 110, 30.
That should say 110, 30 a.m.
Where is that?
Maybe it's a little early. I just want to make sure.
Where is it? Oh, it's 10:30.
Okay, it's 10:30. I mean, I'm gonna try to make it. I'm gonna try to make it. So I don't know.
I was real
depending on what dimension, you know, it'll probably in another dimension. It is 110:30. It is. Yeah, it'll be 10:30. 10:30 Saturday morning. You'll have
yeah, I'm gonna try to make it. Yeah, because I missed the last.
Don't want to miss.
Yeah, so definitely
you missed the last. You missed the last 9, man. What you talking about? You just don't know.
Hey, nigga, I didn't know you.
Hey, man, I thought it was a trash can. I didn't know that.
Cat Williams, come on. We get the holiday.
All right, let's get to these last remaining comments. She says, "I am Chanel," so that's her name.
Number 9 or number?
Hey, but appreciate you for coming through. You're welcome back.
She can't spell Chanel right either. She can't spell big right. She can't spell the female chief right. She can't spell Chanel right. I don't know.
Fighting the Evil, what's going on? He said, all Black Americans still talking about this? Yes. And they'll be talking about it probably for the rest of the year.
Oh, absolutely. 100.
36 million views.
I am undercover, but not really.
I am undercover, not really, but sounded good. Yeah.
Cat Williams is the best.
All right, well, we appreciate you, though, Chanel. We really do. Keep coming back.
Stephen A. I mean, it's everywhere because of the culture. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. CJ, appreciate you for stopping by and coming on. Michigan is the national champion. So that game is officially over. Right. And Harbaugh's coming to an NFL team near you. So be on the lookout for that in the next year.
Congratulations, Jeff Piner, ex-coworker of mine who's a big Michigan fan. He's been riding for a long time.
Yeah. So we'll see y'all next week. Dave Chappelle, the Dreamer. And go ahead and close us out, A-Trap. It's been a minute.
We'll be back when the week is new. And we'll have new ideas for you. And you'll have things you want to talk about. We will too.
But go off.
Peace.